Well, welcome to Matsuda Bonsai Nursery. Oh, this is a sign that I made when I opened the nursery. Maybe 25, getting closer to 40 years ago. Anyway, what happened was I had this area and this juniper got so thick and so big that so the juniper was this wide. This whole thing came here and it was still growing, so that I was afraid that it's going to make my road too narrow. So I started cutting. Well, actually it came over here too. Anyway, so you could see sort of remnants of where it was. I had to cut. There was so much, I had to take my tractor a number of times, push it away, and then keep cutting. Well, this is boring stuff. What I see is this juniper has grown up and looking like it has some potential for being a nice Niwaki. What I had forgotten was all this rock work. I knew this, I had these because they were always visible, but then after 30, almost 40 years, forgot that I did a lot more work with the rocks. So far, I spent more than 6 hours on this job, cutting and hauling away. And I think about 2 more hours of pruning and to get this thing shaped up. Well, I was doing a lot of rough cutting. You could still see remnants, I think. Let's see over here. Let's see where the chainsaw cut. Okay. Now I'm going to go in here and now slow down and carefully trim this up like we do in bonsai, except it's for the landscape, so it's a Niwaki. And I think it has a great potential to make a statement as people drive in. So for this project, it's going to be like 8 hours of work. Well, this next phase, I can't hurry it up. I got to go in there and carefully prune like I would do any Niwaki or bonsai. So I thought I'd just show you this before shot. This is oleander, not one of my favorite plants. I don't think I planted as much as it came with one of the trees that I dug out. Anyway, so this is kind of looking at a slight different view, but you could see Jackie in there checking it out. So this is the backside. See, there's a lot of detail work I have to do, and then not much room for error if I want to make this into a nice Niwaki. But I think it's going to be fairly dramatic. Look at all that movement in there. So I have to go in very carefully, prune this out. So let's just call this the before shot, and then hopefully when I get done, I'll put it together and you can see some of the potential. So those of you that have overgrown bushes, this is just one of the common junipers that got taken out of a job that can become something great. Well, let's hold off on that great till I get done, but there's a potential for it to be great. See this little guy here? This is part of the big bush, right? Well, this is how layering becomes. We looked at air layering, but this is the natural layering where the branch hits the ground and it will root. See this pile here? This is what came out. I think I cut it and pushed it with my tractor about 3 times. It's been compressed because of all the pushing, right? But, well, I don't try to burn things because, one, it takes so much effort. I'm not good at it. So I bring all my clippings here and let nature take its course, and it'll decompose and enrich the soil. So from over there, I push, and put it over there. Isn't that exciting? Now I'm coming up my driveway, and well, this area is, I keep patching it up, but it's all DG. And after the rain, I find interesting things. Oh, sometimes I found Chinese coins, because this used to be a settlement, but I found some interesting stones too. That broken arrowhead I found. It was after the rain. See, we have all kind of interesting things here. I think I found my Dharma stone here too. So anyway, this piece of property is full of surprises. You know, I'm always telling you I'm behind work. Well, I'm behind work again. These pines are in need of pruning. Well, if I get these little jobs where I thought I was just going to clip off the ends and become a major, I've lost another day. That's why. That's my excuse. Well, this was Sunday morning. And it took almost exactly 2 hours that I thought I would need to finish this up. Got kind of banged up a little bit. Some of those dry pieces kind of puncture my skin, little things like that. But you could see that it's opened up down below, but not so much on top. And, you know, that's one of the things you have to be very careful of, especially one that's in the ground. You have to think in terms of the new conditions. When you're working with something like this, you have to think it's got new conditions, right? Before, it had all these foliage down here. Remember, I was telling you it was all the way down to here where you could see the tractor track marks. But that part is okay. But up on top, I still need to thin it out. But I'm going to let this recover probably next year, and then get it to actual shape. I'm going to open this up a lot more, but it might burn. It's not too bad because of the big trees, but you got to be careful about things like that. You know, in a bonsai, when we do something drastic like this, we just put it away in a shady area. But this one is in a permanent spot. So you have to be careful that you don't overdo it. Today is the tail end of October, so we're getting into the cool, wet season, which is a good timing. If we were like in June, we would be headed for some stress. So timing is good, but I'm still gonna take it easy. See, like the top, I could thin it out more, but I'm gonna wait. And those are the things you have to do this in stages. Now, I spent my adult life doing this for a living, which I don't want to do anymore because the work is very hard. I was having a tough time inside where everything was all tangled together, and I'm on my hands and knees trying to cut these things, and then some of the dead branches are poking me and pushed a lot of it away. So I would think in terms of percentage, I removed about 80% of the original foliage. Now, unlike moving this, it's not a big deal because the roots are not being disturbed. So anyway, I think this should be good. Next spring I'll do some light pruning, and then maybe in the fall I'll get in and really open up the top. But I want to give it plenty time to recover. So you see this right here, one of the low branches went around and then it shot up. Not sure if it's rooted. If it's rooted, that's called a layering. We do air layering. This is more of a natural layering where the roots will set root again and then we could remove it. So if it does stay alive, then I have the option of taking it out and then making a bonsai out of it. Or I was trying to do sort of an interesting multi-trunk tree out of one. We don't know what's going to happen till probably next year. This winter, with the rain and all, we'll find out what's still alive and which is not. So looking at the backside, you can see that I did more extreme, but then this backside is being protected by a couple of big trees, so it's okay. And the other side also is the front, and I have to make sure that it still look good and lush. But this backside, not many people are going to see it, right? So anyway, I see potential things coming up. I still got to come in here and bring my rake and then hand clean this. Okay, so this is Hiro Matsuda at the Bonsai Nursery, having just worked on this overgrown landscape. Now it's going to turn into hopefully an interesting Niwaki. So those of you that have overgrown plants, you could do the same thing. Originally, I had just decided to trim back what was on the ground, but then I realized I have gone through and did all this rock work, and I thought I better show it off. You know, I've been moving a whole lot of rocks in my lifetime. It makes sense that I do ishizukuri too. Anyway, this is Hiro saying goodbye. I'll see you again real soon in another chapter.